Our world is always revealing its secrets. For the last few decades, humans have done a great job at uncovering certain mysteries, and so far we've been able to solve quite a few of them. However, there are some that have remained unsolved. Each time we look at these discoveries and artifacts, sometimes we end up with more questions than answers. This world is ever changing, leaving many mysteries of history lost to time as we attempt to uncover the secrets that we think can be uncovered. Fortunately enough for us, it appears that every now and then a timestamp of history is perfectly preserved for us in the modern day, and is just waiting to be discovered. These timestamps are usually stored away inside the earth, waiting for someone to one day uncover it. However, every so often we make discoveries right on the surface. Jennings Randolph Lake is the location of this mysterious looking rock. It's been given the name of the Waffle Rock due to its strange appearance. Not many people know about this strange looking rock, but when people do first see it, they normally ask if it's real. This is because of the unnatural look of the rock. One thing to note is that the rock is still baffling visitors and researchers to this day. According to scientists and researchers, they've put forward the idea that the rock is old. In fact, they've suggested it could be between 275 and 310 million years old. One of the first things you'll notice is the odd-looking design that covers the rock. This interesting design doesn't look like it's naturally made, and some have suggested it looks as though it's been printed on the rock. Theorists have said that if this rock is over 300 million years old, then how would the people of this time have the tools to carve these deep, intricate designs? Another mystery is that there isn't much information out there about this object. Many of the postings online are merely speculation as to what the object is. Of course, there are some more out there theories. UFO believers have put forward the idea this large piece of rock is actually a part of an alien spacecraft, suggesting that it landed on Earth millions of years ago, and one of the reasons we can't find much information about it is because it's not from here. However, researchers don't believe this theory, and have said it's most likely man-made. Even if this is the case, it doesn't bring us any closer to unraveling its mystery. We still have no idea what civilization created this, and how they were able to do it. The discovery of the rock was made in the 1980s, and as mentioned, it was given the name of the Waffle Rock. As of today, the mysterious rock is still baffling researchers. Archaeologists have discovered some incredible structures over the years. Not only are they impressive to look at, but they have also made us question who could have built them. This comes down to the fact that some of these are so massive it's hard to understand how humans could construct them. Some of the more obvious structures include those of the Great Pyramid of Giza and Stonehenge. These are the more famous ones as over the years they've been brought to the public's attention. However, scattered across our planet are giant megaliths that some are not aware of. One of these has become known as the fortifications of Mycenae. The fortifications of Mycenae have continued to baffle engineers and architects to this very day. The technique of masonry used is actually referred to as Cyclopean masonry. This is in reference to the written works made by the ancient Greek historians that describe the walls of Mycenae as being produced by that of giants. It's claimed these walls were said to have been the work of Cyclops, created by using unwrought stones, with each being so big that a pair of mules could not move the smallest from its place to the slightest degree. Not only were the massive walls built without using mortar or any materials to keep the large rocks in place, but that each massive block was supposedly placed by hand by the Cyclop giants that inhabited the region. Although these may sound like far-fetched stories, you can see why they've been passed down. If you were ever to travel to the fortifications of Mycenae, one of the first things you'd notice is their massive size. In fact, when a human is standing next to them, they're completely dwarfed by their size. This begs the question of how humans would be able to move these giant stones. Archaeologists have come forward and said the ancient site of Mycenae is built on a hill 900 feet above sea level. It's said it was placed here so that it was seen as a power location, looking over everything else that is close by. The civilization at the time decided to build here because it was good for farmland and had easy access to water. It's believed the walls were created 3,500 years ago during the Late Bronze Age period, which seems baffling given the fact that the walls were completely without delay or technological limitation. This is despite the human civilization not having made advancements in metals that could have been used for tools in the construction of the walls, or the placement of the large stones. In fact, the blocks are so massive that even modern day cranes and technology could not place the stones with the accuracy required to build the wall, and maintain the stability of the structure without the use of mortar of any kind. This begs the question then, how did the people at the time move these giant structures? It's been suggested that some of the stones here weigh over 100 tons. Not only this, but the stones are also in awkward shape, meaning it would be near impossible for the people at the time to move them. Another theory that's been put forward is that the civilization that lived here never built these structures, and did in fact stumble across them. This is why they suggested they were built by the Cyclops giants. It appears that due to these seemingly impossible to answer questions, these Cyclopean sites appear to remain a mystery. As of today, archaeologists and scientists are unable to provide an explanation to the sites. Reliable methods of carbon dating have not been attempted, and further theory or explanation of the site appears to be non-existent, which some say point to the obvious conclusion that researchers are not interested in learning more about the structures. Some have put forward the idea that structures like these prove the existence of giants, further saying that massive structures can be found all over the world. They point to examples like the jars of Laos and the pyramids at Giza. Scientists have said, however, not to look down on past civilizations, saying that they could have had their own way of moving these giant stones, and would have used their surroundings to their advantage. The ancient Egyptians is another civilization that's been subjected to many questions. There are some people in the ancient ET community that believe the gods our ancestors wrote about were in fact alien life forms. Although this is a bold theory, they say they have proof. One of the biggest pieces of evidence of this claims comes from the cradle of human civilization that is ancient Egypt. This incredible civilization made incredible breakthroughs in the development of agriculture, science, medicine, mathematics, and the construction of large cities and societies. The first piece of evidence to take a close look at is probably the most notable, and these are of course the Great Pyramids of Giza. These are often reported as one of the greatest wonders of the world, and with this title holds an air of mystery. How were these megalithic structures constructed? For what purpose and to what end? Interestingly, even to this day we really have no idea. Archaeologists and Egyptologists from around the world have devoted their lives to the study of these structures, but still cannot seem to crack exactly how they were built. To this day we've not been able to recreate these structures even on a much smaller scale. Understanding this, how can such a technology to perform this incredible feat of engineering in a short 20 years have existed back then? In fact, some say the sheer size and number of blocks used along with the workforce is more than enough evidence of advanced technologies. The Great Pyramid consists of roughly 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing more than a car, ranging from 2.5 to 15 tons apiece. According to supposed receipts discovered in nearby tombs and areas regarding the pyramids, the pharaohs recorded that only 20,000 workers built the pyramids over the course of 20 years. Mathematically, this doesn't make sense. If that turns out to be the case according to these ancient Egyptian records, then that would mean a block was cut from the quarry, moved to the pyramid, pushed up a ramp and placed into its correct alignment within the span of 2 minutes and 30 seconds. A technological impossibility. But of course, given other questionable historical records, the ancient Egyptian civilization have created forged documents and receipts in the past to cover up problems with ownership, timeline and creation. It could very well be possible that this forgery took place for the creation of the pyramids as well, given the timeline, workload and many other staggering pieces of evidence when it comes to theories and techniques of the formation of the pyramid, and the fact they just don't seem to add up. As of today, these sites remain a mystery. So what do you think of these mysterious sites? Be sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.